You can see behind me the classic heritage buildings which are scattered all over this and other foreshore trust lands. These properties don't require long leases. They don't require anything beyond 25 years in that tenants come, grow, stay or leave, and it's a cycle. 25-year leases are generally the reserve of highly commercialised land, and mostly in an area that requires new buildings. And that's how the return comes to the lessee with the longer lease. In these situations with the trust lands, it's totally inappropriate. The indigenous, the maritime and the military history of all of these headland lands are vital to be preserved. In any case, a 25-year lease generally, by its nature, alienates the land from the general public, and that is not one of the objectives of the trust. The trust at any time, under the current Act, has the ability to extend a lease for a suitable tenant who contributes to the ambience of the land and follows the objectives of the trust, simply by extending a lease term for another up to 25-year term. So to contemplate anything longer than that is totally unnecessary. The modest rents that these buildings generate for the trust makes a certain contribution to the running of the trust and the maintenance of the lands, but will never be self-funding, and therefore the trust will always rely on federal government funding. The sensitivity of these lands varies from location to location, and the trust has control of a myriad of different sites, mostly open space headlands such as North Head, where we are today at Middle Head, but very sensitively also Cockatoo Island, which, although not open space by any stretch of the imagination, contains magnificent historic buildings of the maritime history of Sydney Harbour, a prison at one time, and the buildings that are there require rehabilitation, not demolition. And the history and the wonderful ambience of the place must be kept. Development should never replace a building of that nature, nor should it introduce a new use to the internal of the building to the point that that heritage is lost. The public needs to be able to come and see those workings and those old machineries for many generations to come.